We're gonna do a song that you never heard before.
The volume. Here they come and get wicked. Here we go again.
Ace Kennedy, my brother from another mother. What's happening then?
Boy.
What's good though?
Bruh, I don't know if you've been in these wrestling streets, but bruh, it is live right now. It is lit.
What you mean? What you mean? What I miss?
So WWE is in shambles right now, bruh. The road to WrestleMania is pretty cloudy as we speak.
Because of what?
So CM Punk getting hurt, the allegations with Brock Lesnar, and then Cody Rhodes' choice on who he chose to face at WrestleMania. All of
He's
that.
gonna wrestle Seth Rollins.
Exactly. And that's why the fans is going crazy. But I'll tell you about it after this music.
Let's do it, man.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time.
Yep.
The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time.
Hey, listen, if you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe to the Slash Brothers YouTube and Facebook pages. We are live on both platforms at the same time. You click on the notification, you get the bell, you get the heads up whenever your boys is doing a thing. Ace Kennedy. By the way, I don't know if it's my headphones or not, but you sound real low right now.
Nah, bro, it's gotta be your headphones. I got my stuff all the way to the third thing from the top, brother.
All right. I'm not gonna say it might not be me, but let's see here. That you know what, you were right, bro. I think it is me.
It's all good.
Yeah. Talk to me about wrestling, though, bro.
Okay. So last we spoke, obviously we had the allegations of Vincent Kennedy McMahon that we had spoken about, and the Royal Rumble happened, and so that's supposed to be like the road to WrestleMania. Everybody knows who's a wrestling fan that once you win the Royal Rumble, you get to select who you want to face. You have punched your ticket to be the main event of WrestleMania. Cody Rhodes won it twice, so this was be his second time, and they've been building on this storyline where they've been talking about his story, right? Basically, his dad is Dusty Rhodes, and at one point in time, he won the belt at Madison Square Garden, and then the belt was quickly taken from him, and so that's kind of been his whole story with returning to WWE. Is I want to win the belt that was taken from my dad. People were invested. You know what I'm saying? As corny as it sounds, as far as like, you know, in today's wrestling world, we don't really have that true baby face, the good guy, so to speak. We got these tweeners, people that are like, you know, you get cheers, but you'll do some, you know, dastardly stuff or whatever the case may be. But Cody seems to be like the purebred, the white knight, the straight hero, right, of the story. And so he lost last year at WrestleMania. So this year he's supposed to face Roman Reigns. And there's a couple of things going on, right? Because Roman Reigns has had the belt for so long that he's up to basically pass Hulk Hogan, which, you know, if you're a wrestling fan, then you know Hulk Hogan has been in some hot water here recently. So it's kind of one of them things like they probably want to, kind of ease him on out the books.
Yeah.
Friday night SmackDown happens. You was about to say something.
No, 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 no. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right, so Friday night SmackDowns happens. But before we get there, you got to understand what happened on Monday. We talked about it a little bit, right? Seth Rollins comes out there because again, he was supposed to face CM Punk. CM Punk gets the tricep injury. So now Seth is technically without a wrestling partner for WrestleMania. Mind you, Seth is real life hurt too. He's got a leg injury, but he was going to do the match. Assuming that CM Punk was going to go over or win the belt. So he gives Cody this dope promo. Like, look, bro, your dad was a work person. Like, he was a workman. And so this is the workhorse belt right here. The belt Roman got, that's the Hollywood belt. You know what I'm saying? Like, he done politicked his way, he done cheated his way. Like, that belt ain't nothing. Like, this is the real belt. Like, this is the one that's got the history attached to it. Whoop de whoop de whoop. And the crowd even changed, right? Because at first the crowd was like, no, like, like, no, they don't want him to wrestle Roman. And when Seth got done, the crowd was kind of like, you might have something here, right? So
Yeah.
so they go off and SmackDown happens. Roman
Right.
Reigns comes out here and he got to respond to Seth. Like, look, my little brother over there with the B team belt, with the second string belt, like I done beat everybody which is why they had to create that belt. So to speak, and just burying the belt, which is something that the WWE, like people just think that anyway, like that's just the second string belt. You know what I'm saying? And so then Cody comes out and he is like, look, and he's doing his thing. Like we know why we here. You know what I'm saying? I want to fight you I want to take everything. He said, listen, the way I look at it is like this. If I take the belt, that's not my story. He said, I think if I take everything, that's what's the story. So he's delivering all these dope bars, but he said, so I'm gonna do it, just not at WrestleMania. He said, I talked to family, I talked to legends, I got my counsel, and the person that I'm bringing out is who I spoke to, and The Rock's music hit, and everybody's losing it because The Rock comes out, of course, doing his thing, and he looking jacked, ready to go. He in the ring, stare off. Well, he first has the little, Cody, like, hugged him, embraced him, and kind of whispered something in his ear, and you could just see the face, bro. Cody's face, bro. His face was just like so disappointed, man. It's weird because there's some behind the scenes stuff, right? So Cody exits, it's The Rock and Roman standing in the ring together, assuming that this is going to be the match for WrestleMania. The internet, first of all, that clip that they posted on YouTube is the most disliked video in WWE history.
Really?
In WWE, listen, it was so bad they cut. You can't even see the amount of dislikes anymore. But last that it was on there, it was over 600,000 people that disliked the video, and only 100,000 that had liked it.
Jesus.
The next day after SmackDown on X, formerly Twitter, the number one hashtag in the world, is "We Want Cody." So that's that. Monday Night
Wait a
Raw
minute.
happened.
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
Wait.
yeah.
Okay. Why? Okay. I understand that for the moment, right?
Mhm.
The sheer shock value of having The Rock
Yeah.
at Raw or excuse
Mhm.
me at SmackDown or just in general, that is going to bring. But at the same time, even though Seth Rollins' belt is the workhorse belt, it's still an everyday belt. And to have the belt as a WWE champion, you still have to be uh wrestling regularly, like you full time. You can't be a part-time champion. I know that Brock Lesnar has basically only came to the pay-per-views or whatever for a stretch. And I've always kind of faulted that, right? But I'm just also just sitting here thinking about that. Like, how would that even look if The Rock goes against Roman Reigns and win. He can't win, right?
Well, that's kind of the thing, though, bro. Roman is a part-time champion, right? Because Roman, if you look at Roman's schedule versus Seth's schedule, Roman doesn't wrestle but maybe 4 times a year, defends the belt maybe 4 times a year, which is inherently why he has had the belt for so long, because the schedule's been so light. There has been pay-per-views where Roman Reigns is not even on it, right? So how different would it really be if The Rock won? This is the problem. The reports are that The Rock is the one that pushed Cody out the way. So they're saying that back on January 3rd, when The Rock signed his contract with TKO, he has incentives built into his contract, which he has performance incentives. So he'll get extra money for doing said dates. And that he wasn't going to sign this. These are the reports. I'm not saying that this is true, but the reports are that he wasn't going to sign unless he got the WrestleMania match, right? So let's look at it from a reality standpoint. The reality standpoint is The Rock is getting older. How much time does he have left to be The Rock that we know him to be in the ring? You know what I'm saying? This match wasn't something that just came out the blue. You know what I'm saying? Meaning that we've heard rumblings of The Rock versus Roman Reigns for such a long time, because that's his real life cousin. It would be a great passing of the torch. But now that The Rock is the board member of TKO, which owns WWE, and now he owns the name of The Rock, it's just so now this has made Rock a real life heel. If you notice in our beginning promo, I ain't even play no Rock, because I ain't want to get us canceled, because right now Rock is enemy number one, bruh, in the world. So I couldn't even play because I was trying to get us canceled when we got started. But so my WWE is in a whirlwind. Like, for instance, at Raw yesterday, WWE had to go and bring down the crowd noise because they was chanting Rocky sucks almost through the whole show.
I saw some of it, but I didn't see all of Raw yesterday.
Yeah. Well, they were able to do it in the broadcast, but people have fan footage, you know, from being there, and they posted that on X, so that's floating around everywhere. Cody had to tweet in the show. It was like 9:30. The show is still, he's in the main event, so he, you know what I'm saying, he had to tweet like, I appreciate the love, y'all. Like that's just, it's just unheard of with all with it's. So here's the thing though, right? The fans are talking about this, Twitter is talking about this, like podcasts are going crazy about this. But guess what we not talking about?
We're not talking about Vince McMahon no more, and we ain't talking about Brock Lesnar no more.
We ain't talking about them no more. And here's the thing. The negative press is still positive for WWE, because
Absolutely.
now there are casual people who only know, well, why do people don't like The Rock right now, right? You see what I'm saying? So
yeah.
So regular people is asking questions now. The sponsorship behind The Rock being at WrestleMania is gonna go up. This is gonna be the most watched WrestleMania.
I can listen. I'm gonna be honest. I've become more and more of a casual WWE fan. Gotta watch it if The Rock is gonna be there. If I know for sure that The Rock is gonna be there, because listen, it ain't like I don't care, and like I said, I don't care, but it doesn't move the needle for me personally if I see D Generation X getting back together, right, or to see the Undertaker come back out there. It's to me, it doesn't even move the needle if Hulk Hogan comes out there, even though for nostalgic purposes, I can see why it would for
What about
somebody
Stone
else.
Cold?
Stone Cold and The Rock are it. If that's it, if they there, I'm watching. But if you're telling me not just making an appearance, but The Rock is gonna wrestle, right? I'm all the way there. Now, if you tell me that Stone Cold's going to wrestle, I'm there. But if you tell me that he's going to main event, right? Oh my gosh, right? I'm not taking my eyes off it. So they got me on the fact that The Rock is going to main event WrestleMania.
Okay, but
Mission accomplished.
Okay, but let me that what the reports are too that they're trying to give Cody Rhodes the Daniel Bryan treatment, meaning that they want it to where the fans are so overwhelmingly wanting him there that that could push the WWE to change the card because they're trying to give him an organic Daniel Bryan moment with this. The card is not set in stone. They have so here's the thing: they have a press conference coming out this Thursday, and I
Got an
guarantee
idea.
you, what's up?
I got an idea. I know how you can fix this whole thing.
I'm listening.
All right, here we go. I think you can fix this by having so again, this is where I get from. Let me tell you where I'm going with it. I get this idea from And1 mixtapes, right? So the big thing on the And1 wasn't the initial crossover, it was the second so it's right? Here we go. The first The Rock and Roman Reigns, right? The second would be if somewhere down the line you have Cody Rhodes wrestles Damian Priest for the Money in the Bank title. Roman Reigns beats The Rock and passes the torch. And then Cody Rhodes come in and cash in the briefcase right then and there and wrestles and pins Roman Reigns after a long match with The Rock. Seeing that to me it justifies Roman Reigns beating him with the help of the tribe, right? So now you have him come in, cash it in, boom, and that WrestleMania moment goes next level because you went That's why I think you fix it, bro.
The problem is Damian Priest is nowhere in this card, right? Meaning that Cody is supposed to be fighting Seth Rollins now for the belt. This is the problem that I have and the problem that the WWE have, right? Because if Cody chooses the Roman Reigns' belt, then you're basically saying Seth's belt don't matter because of how you set it up. Here's the other thing. Even if Cody wins the belt, right? If he wins Seth's belt, he still wants Roman's belt. So you're still saying that belt don't mean nothing.
You see, this is how I think you fix that though. So you fix that by basically saying Seth Rollins isn't physically able to perform at WrestleMania, so he doesn't have the opportunity to even lose the belt, right? So then the next time around, you have what's my boy, the Scottish psychopath who pressed Seth Rollins about a match, or even you could have Damian Priest jump back into that conversation for champion, even though he loses. I think that you can finesse that to say, Seth Rollins is injured and he can't wrestle, and by then separately.
But he is gonna wrestle. So I'm going off the facts that we got. But I like where your head is at.
If you want to fix it, if you want to make it work, I think that you can say. You can basically say.
I think I'm going off your idea. Look, this is just how we polish your idea. I agree. I think that you still let Seth wrestle, right? Because here's the thing: Seth has a reason to fight Cody. Cody don't have a reason to fight Seth, really, because Seth has a reason to fight Cody because Cody beat him 3 times already. So for Seth, it's like, look, bro. I gotta get this monkey off my back. You know what I'm saying?
I gotta get some get back.
Yeah, I gotta get some get back. I need to be the undisputed champion of people knowing that I beat everybody, right? So he needs that match. But anyway, let's say Cody beats Seth Rollins. It's a great match, and then Seth cashes in. Damian Priest cashes in and beats Cody for the belt that same night. So he gets the belt taken just like his daddy did.
That would be cold.
And
that would be cold. And then who has Seth Rollins' belt?
No. That's what I'm saying. Listen, Seth and Cody fight. Cody beats Seth. That same night, Damian Priest comes and cashes in and beats Cody for Seth's belt right then and there. So he gets essentially the same thing happened to him. But
That would be that would be a dope, deep storyline. I'm not gonna lie. The
yes,
parallels to that would be cold.
yes. So then you got that. So now the belt is out the picture. Because what I don't want to happen, this is what I don't want to happen. If Cody wins and he wins the belt, right? You're not gonna have Cody and Roman fight each other with the belts, and you're not
Right,
unifying the titles. You're because they just
right.
created Seth's belt. You're not gonna unify the titles. So if that's the case, if they're not gonna unify the titles, then you gotta have a way where Cody doesn't have the belt, even though they have another problem with having him main event the first night of WrestleMania. That's how you close the
How
show
does
with Damian Priest cashing in.
Yeah, but how does that work though when it's still Roman Reigns walks away with the belt still against The Rock? So then how do you then otherwise set up? So I guess maybe if Cody,
How do
how
you
do
get
you
Cody
if
back to
you
Roman?
yes, because Roman could say, listen, you lost, bro. You at the end of the line.
He could, but I think you can put that, you can make that easy when you say, nah, it's a pride thing, right? Like, right, you really want this smoke, like, come on, I'll fight you. And then he loses. It can still work. You know what I'm saying? Because what you could do, you can end up building a matchup again to where you make that the first match on the Netflix deal. So the first Raw
Mm.
for January 2025, Roman versus Cody, and you let Cody win it on the first night on Netflix.
Yeah. I see it. I still I would love put Damian Priest has been walking around with this briefcase for a hot minute, for like a year, and hadn't cashed it in. He's had his attempts. But now you coming up to where there's a calendar year where he's about to expire though, bro.
It's true, and that's the thing. But I'm gonna be honest, Damian Priest is not in the main storyline cards, and not unless
It's
you,
true.
and not unless you're gonna put him. But if you give him Seth's belt, then it makes it relevant because then you can still make it to where the Judgment Day got all the belts. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a way to make that work and still include him in the plans. But I'm telling you, the CM Punk thing messed them up bad. And the problem is people don't know if it was built in his contract with The Rock signed for TKO that he said no, I'm gonna headline WrestleMania. So it's a really weird time right now where The Rock just became the biggest heel in WWE and he wasn't even trying to.
Dang.
Like it got so bad, bro. They sent death threats to his daughter. His daughter was like, yo, I ain't got nothing to do with nothing going on up there. I'm trying to, because she's the general manager of NXT. She was like, I'm trying to run a show. She said, really, death threats? Like that's what we doing? Like, stop.
See, listen, Rock out here trying to enjoy his tequila, and they out here hating on him, huh?
Bruh, it's bad. I am anticipating what, and here's the thing: I haven't been this excited about WWE storylines in a minute, which is a big deal, which is why people are upset. Is like y'all ain't really been doing those storylines, and now that you actually had me invested in one, and then you just gonna pull the carpet under from under Cody, like nah, bro. People are
Let me ask you
legit
this.
mad, man.
Let me ask you this though, right? And
Mhm.
we can move on this one or
Yeah.
not. But do you think Vince and Brock that they're done completely?
The Vince is Brock may not be. This is why. The reason why Brock may not be number one, if it settles outside of court, it'll be done. You give Brock a couple of years, have him come back in a Royal Rumble match. You can't, you never say never, right? The reason why Brock can come back and Vince can't because Brock's name was not mentioned in that lawsuit. Brock's name wasn't.
Mm,
All it said was we're assuming that that was Brock Lesnar based upon the information
yeah.
given, but his name was never brought up. So Brock could come back, but it's gonna take a while. But
Yeah,
Vince, nah, Vince done, bro.
he done finally. They finally done send him on out to the pasture, huh?
Yeah, because I mean, here's the thing, man. Like without him settling in court, I don't know how he's gonna walk away from this without jail time. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that
I
he's
can
guilty.
see him walking away with no jail time because I think that like I said, from what I've gathered, they are basically approaching him civilly, not for criminal. So I think that he's going to settle and that's going to be it.
No, no, the feds are looking into the case now. And so they can file just like how the state went against Jonathan Majors. They can go from that angle.
Mm.
So that's what I'm saying. If he don't settle out of court, and I don't,
It's
and
looking bad, bro.
well, here's the thing. His lawyer was on some show I was watching on X. His lawyer was on there, and they're like, look, we ain't really concerned about the money aspect. We want him to rot. Like they going for the gusto. And so she's also saying, I'm trying to be the face so that the other women who are scared to come out, we want them to come out. And so the lawyers is already saying, like, nah, we already got more people that's lined up. So I don't know, bruh.
It's tough.
It's tough.
Hey, listen, man. Let's switch topics right quick.
Yeah.
All-Star game. Real quick. So Julius Randle and Joel Embiid, both All-Stars, both out. They were recently replaced by Scotty Barnes, first-time All-Star, and also Trae Young. Let me ask the big thing about it, more than the people who do make it, are the people who are snubbed because there's only a handful of. Let me listen. You talk about on the All-Star team, there are only 12 slots, if I'm not mistaken, right? Maybe 10, and then they have a last minute pick or whatever they used to do, though, bro. Who's the biggest snub this year?
You know, I'm gonna be honest, right? I don't think there was a snub, bro. Here,
Can we pull up? Can we pull up the All Stars? Let me see something here.
yeah, we can do it. I'm gonna be honest. I don't really think there was a snub, bro. This is why I say that. I think the NBA is in a great place right now. While we just talked about the league doesn't necessarily have a face of the NBA, we do have we do have some all-stars, but we just don't have the face yet. You know what I'm saying? Like we have some good players.
So you know what I think? This is what I think is going to be the issue, right? I think that one of the issues that the NBA will face is, and I'm not going to lie, this was almost like when Jordan retired. And I think that what happened is that you had this okay, so the Western Conference
I'm pulling it up. I'm pulling on the screen.
Okay.
Yeah. Boom. Boom. All right. So what you want to go with first?
Kevin Durant. Okay, Kevin Durant, Luka, nothing there. Shea, nothing there. LeBron. Joke. I don't have no problems with that at all.
Nope. And then
Dame. I don't have any problem with Dame.
We'll go to the East in a second. The West, you still got Devin Booker. You got Steph.
Devin Booker. Steph.
You got Anthony Davis.
Ant-Man, PG. Don't have any problem with it. No problems with that at all.
Even with Kawhi, you don't have an issue with that?
No, I don't have any problem with Kawhi. Kawhi been hooping, man. Kawhi has been shooting this season. I think he's like 50-50-90, if I'm not mistaken. Or he's pretty close to 50-50-90. So no, and he's been playing though. And I think that oddly enough, you know, that whole load management thing aside, when he's playing, he balls though, bro. So I'm not mad at nobody from the West. And here's the other thing too. I thought I saw something like what's my boy? Not my boy. Rudy Gobert was talking about he should make the All-Star team. He says it every year that he don't make it. Right. I'm not mad at that. Some people was talking about Wemby should. I don't think that he should have made it either.
No, Wemby's probably going. I know he's going to be in like the rookie game or whatever like that. That's where he should be.
Yeah. But I don't think Wemby. Like I think everybody. I can't think of anybody who was balling from the West. Now the only person I could think of maybe Larry Markkinen for the Jazz, but I think even him, He isn't quite averaging what he was averaging at the time that he was an all-star last year. I think he was like floating around like 26 a game last year. And
Yeah.
now he's still around his 22 or something like that. But at the same time, I can't imagine anybody on here that on the West. So let's talk about the East though.
All right, here we go. So we got Giannis.
And
We got an open spot with Joel Embiid because he's gonna be out for about 4 weeks or so.
well, they filled that though.
Who they fill it with?
They filled it with Scotty Barnes.
Okay.
And then Julius Randle spot they filled with Trey Young.
Okay.
Which, listen, I don't know what it is, but the NBA as an organization seems to hate Trey Young, bro. The players, I already heard that the players hate Trey Young.
Mm-hmm.
But Trey Young is averaging. He is top. Listen, Trey Young is one of the two people that's top 10 in the NBA in scoring and assists.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that nobody shows him that kind of credit for respect for it either, though.
Yeah. And do you think he needs to go to another team to get the respect? Like
I don't know, bro.
What I'm saying
I
is,
don't know.
here's where I'm going with that, right? Let's just say some kind of way the Lakers end up getting some kind of trade where they get D'Angelo Russell and I don't know, whoever you want to say, and they get them over to Atlanta for Trey Young, and he's now over there with the Lakers. Can they love him after that?
So I think it depends. And the reason why I say it depends is because of this. Okay, so my thing is that are you bringing Trey Young over to play exactly how he's played with the Hawks? Like if you're asking him to come over and be something differently, then I think that it's just that it's a different Trey Young. But
Mm-hmm.
Trey Young with the Atlanta Hawks has the ultimate green light to do whatever, right?
Right.
Whatever. Now, here's what I think is crazy. So if you telling me Trey Young, we want you to come on over and just do you exactly that's the case, though, right? I think that means that LeBron plays a reduced role in scoring and AD does as well, because you got to think. I mean, Trey Young is almost averaging 30 a game, though, man. And so right now, you only have LeBron and AD that's averaging over 20 for the Lakers. So that 30 points is going to come from somewhere. And even if you remove D'Angelo Russell, you're going to have to also, if I'm the Hawks, at a minimum, you got to give me Austin Reeves as well. And so I think that, well, maybe that's your 30. The respect, yeah, I think you have to. If you can put Trey Young on the Lakers and he averaged the same average that he does with the Hawks, absolutely. And to be honest with you, I think I think that would make I would say then I don't know, that would still put Lakers top 2, top 3 in the West.
Really? You think that would give him that much credibility?
I think so, because here's the thing about it. The reason why I say that is because, for one, I don't think that he's any more of a defensive liability as James Harden is for the Clippers if you put him out there with some of those teams that are with the Nuggets. The thing about the Nuggets to me, right, is that the Nuggets play defense, right? And
Yeah.
to me, the only person in their starting five that isn't the best defender is Michael Porter Jr. And hell, he's 6'9", 6'10". So I think that who he guards is different. But I think if you're telling me that Trey Young averaging, if he can say you put Trey Young on the Lakers, and somehow Trey Young is still averaging almost 30, but then still averaging 10 assists a game, yes, I think that does, because to me, it stretches the floor and it gives you it gives you a West Coast version of what the Bucks are trying to do, right?
What
And
is their
that
record?
you
What is the
have,
Lakers? What's the Lakers record right now?
man, they like 25 and
No,
29.
not.
Like
I'm sorry, not the record. Where are they at in the standings? Are they still
no,
9
they
and
like
10?
ninth. They like ninth. Yeah, they like 9
So
and 10.
I think if you add Trey Young, that's only gonna put them to 7 or 8, bro.
Yeah, but listen, I think that, to be honest with you though, even beyond that though, right? I think that with Trey Young, I would like, but this, if it came down to a series, right? And let's say the Lakers got in,
Mm-hmm.
I would pick the Lakers over the Mavs. I would pick the Lakers over the Jazz. I would pick them over the Pelicans. There's a lot of teams. I mean, I think very easily they could make up the ground for it. So yeah. I think Trae Young would. Now, here's what I think is going to be crazy. I don't necessarily know that maybe it does if they got DeJounte Murray, that it would do the same thing because Murray's averaging about 20 himself. But I just think that if you're telling me that the points and the assists all translate, bro, I just think that that's a lot of production to account for.
Let's finish looking at the list. So we got Dame, we got Tatum.
Hey,
Bam.
my only thing is this. I think that Dame should have made the All-Star game.
Mhm.
I think that Donovan Mitchell should be a starter over Dame.
Okay.
That's my only thing because Donovan Mitchell, listen, Donovan Mitchell is unguardable, bro, right now. I mean, literally unguardable. And it done okay, so he is on the roster. So yeah. Unguardable.
Okay.
I
Let me ask
love
you
that
this.
Tyrese Maxey made it though, bro.
What about the coaches for the All-Star game?
How the hell you got Doc Rivers up there, bro? That's the one thing, bro. And I guess it's by whoever's coach
Who has
is the
who has
team's
yep.
coach.
Yep.
Listen, but even when you win, you get like the little bonuses. Doc said, "Nah, I'll send him the bonus. I give him
In
that."
the
And
ring.
coach, get Doc Rivers the hell out of here, bro. Like I'm tired of seeing Doc, bro. I'm tired, bro. I'm tired of seeing Doc Rivers, bro. I am. I'm
So
officially tired, bro.
the Oklahoma City Thunder, Mark Dagnall, had an opportunity to be the coach for the West. We did our part. We won the game we were supposed to win, but Houston was supposed to beat Minnesota, and I don't think they did that. So I think Minnesota's coach is going to be the Western Conference coach.
I'm not mad at that, man. Minnesota has made a big step up in their record. The only thing I think that people low key miss is that a lot of their wins are homes. Like their away record isn't as great though, man. But I mean, hell, they win the games that they should.
Right, because they still tied for first in the West with us.
And I like Ant-Man, bro. And listen, bro, Anthony Edwards, aside from LeBron James, Anthony Edwards is somebody who I would tune in to watch when I say, oh, I'm looking for their games.
Yeah.
There's very few players that I say no that I get excited about watching. Ant-Man's one of them, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the trade stuff is heating up. Obviously, on Charlie's birthday, the trade deadline is up this Thursday. Bro, there has been a lot of smoke in the air for the boy Josh Giddey. I don't know how I feel about that. Here's the thing. I understand that Josh Giddey's skill set is replaceable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
His skill set is replaceable. I don't know that his fit with the Thunder is replaceable. Like, Josh Giddey is an international superstar out here. And while he might be the biggest heel like The Rock at other people's stadiums, he is the Cody Rhodes of Oklahoma City.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, that's just like you being the biggest that's like you being the biggest, you're an international star in Killeen. Like it means something to Killeen, but outside in the grand scheme of the NBA landscape, being a superstar in Killeen is just like that's like being the big fish in a small pond. But here's my thing.
I understand that though. I'm talking about from the standpoint, not just in Oklahoma City. I'm talking about so the Thunder draft for a couple of different reasons. Obviously, the skill set they need to fit, but they need the person to fit in the culture. That's been a thing.
I'm gonna tell you who fits. I'm gonna tell you who. I'm gonna tell you a deal that I think makes Oklahoma better, and it would be if you're breaking it on up. I think, and maybe because I see him more. I think DeJounte Murray for Giddey, Trey Mann, and one of those draft picks he got would be a good trade for Oklahoma to get if they could get DeJounte Murray. And the reason why I say that is that DeJounte Murray is a two-way player, so he plays defense and he traditionally is a point guard. So he would give you all the assists that you get from Giddey. He gives you better defense and he gives you better 3-point shooting. And on top of that, what I think makes it even better is that he is in his NBA career on the same timeline as all the other players on that team. So you get somebody who got veteran experience, but he's not so old where he doesn't fit into the culture, though, bro. So I think that Murray does. And then here's the other thing too. I think that Murray is from Seattle, big city, but not the biggest. Played in San Antonio, so knows how to play and thrive in small market teams. I think that DeJounte Murray would be a good fit to have alongside Shea out there as a starter, bro.
I mean, it sounds good in theory.
Does everything Giddey does, but better.
No, I understand what you're saying, but like I said,
If you do that, that makes you, to me, I think that. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. That getting Murray would make you a flat out contender right now. But I think that that puts you on the clock to speed. That does speed up your championship aspiration clock when you get him, though, bro.
no.
Here's my question for you.
Okay.
So let's just say Oklahoma gets, and this is the one thing I don't know. OKC gets out to the finals, to let's say the Western Conference Finals. I admittedly am not familiar with our big men enough to think who the hell would they get to at least guard Joker?
It would be Chet. Chet's been guarding them all year, and we've beaten Denver 3 out of the 4
We
times.
have beat them, but I'm just thinking for a series. I don't know. That would be interesting. Listen,
but that's the thing, though. Outside of Denver, what's the next team that has won the
Clippers?
championship is who?
Well, no, I think that the next best team to me, Clippers, maybe Suns. And listen, if you tell me that the Suns, if the Thunder played the Suns in a series with Murray, I would be inclined to pick the Thunder in a tight one. But I think that without him, if you just said that they just have Giddey, I think that KD would find a way to out OG them. I mainly think OKC would have to go through the Suns and or the Nuggets to win it.
True, and I would love to go to the Nuggets route because I understand in a series that would, but for instance, I am afraid to play the Lakers because matchup wise, we just for some reason this year have not been able to match up well against the Lakers. Even without LeBron, we've lost. But for Denver, I get it. I know it's a 7-game series, but if I had to choose, I think I would want to go to Denver path just because we've already proven that we can do some things with them. And Mark Daigneault is a great coach who does make adjustments that a lot of other coaches don't seem to do. We change up our roster towards the games. So I would be okay playing them. I don't want to play them, but I'd be okay playing.
I think the matchup, AD is the matchup mismatch for them, right? I think I don't think my boy Lou Dort can just guard LeBron, but I think that he can at least
No. He doesn't
hold
play
his own.
He doesn't guard LeBron anyway. When they play the Lakers, J-Dub does.
Yeah, but I think that they could. I think that they would do a reasonable job, right? But I think that AD is the matchup nightmare for them, though. That's the reason why. Without LeBron, if you get AD, who's going to give you the 40-point AD, the aggressive, I think that he's a matchup nightmare for them. But
speaking of the Lakers, they have seemingly put some halting brakes on D'Angelo Russell as far as trading him. Just came out.
Listen, bro, I think that part of that is because, you still got to think, though, bro. I don't know what they're going to do about what they probably don't know what LeBron's going to do. And I think that trading D'Angelo Russell means that you're playing for this season without a guarantee that LeBron is going to do his thing. So you trade D'Angelo and you start to give up draft capital that I think you could have used to make more long-term plans without knowing what LeBron's going to do. So that's why I think that They listen, bro. They got to trade D'Angelo Russell. You can't have it floating out there for that long that he's gonna get traded, bro. They've been trying to trade bro since last year.
But that's the thing. I think this year was probably one of the most realistic possibilities, and that's why he was balling out. Like it's the same thing with Giddy, right? Giddy's been balling these last couple of games, and when you start hearing your name on that trade deadline, it humbles you.
I think that, but this, I think that it makes you go harder so that when you get traded, you at least are basically now showing this potential teams and suitors what you can do, though, man. Especially when you talking about you in a potential contract year. I don't know, man. Listen, this was crazy. I actually like D'Angelo Russell's game. I actually follow his training enough,
Mm-hmm.
but he just for some reason he's that mid-tier kind of player where given a moment he can give you some moments, given enough shots on a given day, he can do some things. But for some reason though, man, like I don't know what it is. It has to be a good fit for him though, man. He's not bad. He just hasn't been all that great for the Lakers either, though, man.
This is true. This is true. Who before we get off this topic, who are you mostly looking to see get traded?
Ooh, man. Look, I don't know, bro. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I don't see that there is a trade. If you're telling me that teams that are locks, I don't think that there's another team for a player for any contending team outside of the Lakers because they're so in shambles. But if you tell me a team that's a top 6 team in their respective conference, I don't think that there's a player available who's going to make any of those teams that much better or give them a better odds. So I'm going to be honest with you. I don't see anybody out there that I think is trade worthy or on the blocks that I think would make any team that much better. I don't know. And maybe I'm tripping.
Yeah. I haven't heard many teams just like, oh, we got to make a move. I mean, New York already made their move. You know what I'm saying?
I think that now if you talk about the Knicks, now here's the thing. You can't if you're a Knicks fan, sure, you might want your team to do more. But if I'm like everybody always been talking about Donovan Mitchell going to the Knicks or DeJounte Murray go. I think to be honest with you, the DeJounte Murray, I keep bringing him up because I think that his game fits on any team, right? Where you don't have to rearrange your team to bring him on your team. But I think that if I'm the Cavs, like why would I trade Donovan Mitchell to the Knicks? Like that doesn't make sense. Like if you're the Cavs and you're sitting here in 6th place and the Knicks are in the 3rd place, like I don't think anybody's scared of the Knicks, especially if you got Donovan Mitchell. So I don't see why when people say that, like make these deals, like who the hell wants to help the Knicks? Like so I don't see why teams from the East would even trade another star player to any team in the conference. Like you trade them across the way, and then that's different though, man. So ain't
Most
nobody available that I think.
most people think that the Suns need to do something about their bench.
How though? Listen, so you can't. This is my thing in a salary cap league. How do you have Book, Bill, and Kevin Durant all on super max contracts, and then still have room left to get you a bench player who's gonna make a difference? And who is that guy? Like that's my thing. Like, granted, there are some teams that have great vets that are just on sorry teams. So, perfect example, Bogdanovich for the Pistons. He out there on a nice little contract, and he out there getting it, but he's a starter level player. Like, I don't know who is available that the Suns would be able to get. Like somebody like Tyus Jones. Like, stop it, bro. Like, I just don't know if there's anybody who's gonna make them that. Yeah, they could use a deeper bench. But I mean, like, who the hell are you gonna get? Bruce Brown, maybe is he available? Like he's a starter. So I don't know, bro. Like now you go into the playoffs with what you got. Like that's it though, bro. I don't think that there's no, and maybe I'm just completely overlooking something, but there's not a deal out there to be made that's going to make any team who's not a contender or to put one over the top though, bro. So Nah, it's get it out of here though, man. The Lakers just have the biggest holes, and that's what make them a bigger option for people to just pull that conversation out.
I know people were saying that the Mavs need to figure out what they're gonna do with Luca, because you know, you know that Kyrie thing ain't working.
Listen, bro, I'm gonna tell you this. Um, who does okay, you know who the Mavs need to go and get? The
Who is
Mavs
that?
to go and get. I do see it now. Okay. The Mavs need to go and get Malcolm Brogdon from out of Portland. And the Mavs need to also try to get wherever the hell Jeremy Grant is. I think he's also
Portland.
in
In
Portland.
Portland.
Yeah, so I think this is the problem. This is the problem that I tell people all the time, man. Like I almost feel like I sound like I'm hating on Luca, but there's no other star player, right? That you can put aside Luca that's going to be a star player and you still win or thrive or make you better. I think that Luca's game isn't conducive to that. But I think if you surround him with more borderline all-star players who might just not be all-stars, but they're right in that tier below that, I think that that might work though, bro. I thought that it was I think that they kind of had the idea when they were surrounding him with shooters, but I think you just need to put him around, surround him with hoopers. But I think that in the end, though, man, I just think that Luca to me is going to have to change his game up to attract those kind of players because I just can't imagine somebody who's averaging 26 points a game playing with Luca and then winning the championship. I just
Yeah.
can't.
Hey, bro. Did you get a chance to watch the Grammys? I did not get a chance to
I
watch them.
watched most of the Grammys.
Okay, I
And
caught a
listen,
couple
very
things.
entertained.
Okay.
Very entertained by I think I first started watching it when what's the old dude? Luke McGraw, country singer. I think I might be, I hope I'm not butchering, but I saw the performance with Tracy Chapman. And I thought it was incredible. Incredible performance. And then followed that up, I saw my girl Miley Cyrus perform. Incredible. Thoroughly entertained by her showmanship, though, bro. I thought it was excellent. I think that one of the things that the Grammys typically showed me is that there's just a lot of music, great music that I just don't listen to. Right, a lot of music that I just don't listen to for some
How,
reason or
how
another.
do you feel about the Grammys not televising the rap category?
So for some reason, man, I thought I always think, and this is where okay, hear me out when I say this. Okay, so rap as a category and a culture is 50 years old. And R&B and all these other ones have been around for way longer. And I think that rap has always been looked at as like a redhead stepchild when it comes to hip hop, right? I think it's how you get mishaps happen, like Macklemore beating Kendrick Lamar for rap album of the year. It's how you get these anomalies like LL Cool J never winning a Grammy, or how it took Nas so long to win these rap albums. I think that for some reason the Grammys just never has quite gotten it right when it comes to rap consistently. And I think that it gives more merit to when Jay-Z gets out there and kind of gives him backhanded compliments because I just don't think that the Grammys have ever really understood hip hop though, bro.
Okay, but we say that, right? But then Killer Mike wins this year. So did they not get it
Okay.
right again this year?
That's a great question. That is a great question. I'm amongst apparently maybe because I feel like because you know me, I'm on TikTok a lot. And I go on there, and sure enough, there are people who have literally never heard of Killer Mike, never heard of Killer Mike before. So it was almost like I had never heard of the guy that beat out Chris Brown last year for the Grammy for best R&B or whatever. Well, I think it was the Grammys or whatever. But I had never heard of dude, right? But apparently everybody's like, oh, if you know, you know. So you and I know who Killer Mike is, and you and I could see Killer Mike walking down the block, and we would know his face, like, yo, that's Killer Mike. But I can also at the same time understand why somebody who's under 30 would have no clue who Killer Mike is. With that being said, aside from Nas, that was also in that category, it was a bunch of people who were 35 and under. Drake would have been the next oldest person on there. And I think that to a lot of people, when it comes to hip hop, it's hip hop today more than any other time is a popularity contest, right? I used to think that hip hop's number one, who was number one, was based off of skill and popularity. And now it's so much of a popularity than skill to where you don't have to necessarily be the most skilled or talented. You just have to be the most popular. So when I'm seeing a bunch of people get out here and they're like, who the hell is Killer Mike? How can he win? How can Killer Mike beat Travis Scott? How can he beat Metro Boomin? How can he beat Drake? And I'm thinking like, well, damn, if you've never heard of Killer Mike, let alone listen to the Killer Mike album, I can totally see why you would say that. But having listened to all of those albums, I thought that it was one of the easiest calls. When I heard Killer Mike's album, I knew it was going to win the Grammy, bro. I knew that it was going to win a Grammy. It's just the one that he won. He swept it in that fashion. And if you go, it's an incredible skip-free album. So listen, man. You can't tell me that all the other albums, maybe the Nas King Disease 3, are skip-free albums, though, bro. So nah, I thought that the Killer Mike very much warranted, though, bro. But I'm just kind of surprised. Now, here's the other thing that's interesting about that, though, bro, is that Killer Mike is getting a lot of people that are hating on him because if it stands in the last election for Stacey Abrams, though, man, they were talking like, he had a bunch of negative things to say about Stacey Abrams and was talking about, oh, he's in the good graces of Brian Kemp out here. So a lot of people weren't so supportive of Killer Mike winning because of his politics, though, bro. And I think the Killer Mike is a very you can say he's an activist, you can say he's a very in the know of Georgia politics, but I think a lot of people here had a lot of bad things to say when he won and not very congratulative of him winning just because, man, Stacey Abrams, who black people love out here, feel like you cause a lot of people to not vote for Stacey Abrams, though, bro. So
yeah, but
it's crazy, man.
That's politics, though. That ain't got nothing to do with the music.
Politics. Musically, though, man, I thought it was great. Now, the biggest thing that I thought, the takeaway that came from it, was Taylor Swift winning for the 4th time album of the year. Ace Kennedy. I had to set my bias aside, and I wanted to ask you this. Okay. I have never listened to a single Taylor Swift song in my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And aside from that, Jay-Z said Beyonce has won more Grammys than anybody in the history of the Grammys, but has never won Album of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
And when she didn't win Album of the Year, I think almost every time she's lost to Taylor Swift. I think every time Taylor Swift won. So Ace Kennedy, I've always thought that Taylor Swift was the white Beyonce, or not the white Beyonce, but Taylor Swift is to white people what Beyonce is to black people.
Yes, she very much moves the needle.
Very much moves the needle. But then I'm wondering, bro, is Taylor Swift better than Beyonce, bro? And I just been biased this whole time.
Charles, I'm going to be honest with you, bro. I love Beyonce. I'm not as big a Beyonce fan as you are. But I'm only commenting off the last 2 albums that both women released. Taylor Swift album is better than Beyonce's album.
I'm not mad at this last Beyonce. If this is my thing. This isn't the album that Jay-Z should be having this 100%. Thing.
And that's what I'm saying.
That.
Yeah, that's the I understand your question, and I'm gonna get back to your question. But for the Grammy purposes, for this, if Beyonce's album was in against Taylor Swift's album, it wasn't better. And that means no disrespect for Beyonce's album, because I think that what Beyonce did was change. She's the artist who can change the way a sound happens, right? I personally didn't rock with it like that. We talked about it at length. But I do think when you have the Taylor Swift album and the way that it performed and what it was able to do, I do think it was a better product. Um, with that being said, is Taylor Swift better than Beyonce? I just think they're two different artists. Like, it's
It,
hard for me to
it,
say that, but Taylor Swift moves the needle. Look, we got the biggest game in the NFL coming up this weekend, and people are worried if Taylor's gonna make it in time because she has a performance in Japan the night before.
Ace Kennedy, here's what I'm wondering. In
Yeah.
wrestling terms, since we were talking about wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna tell you what, who are your, if you had to say your top three, not top five, who are your top three wrestlers of all time? Now, this is what I want to say. I don't want you to say top three who you like necessarily. When I ask this question, I mean if you were writing the history of wrestling and someone said this is what the world would go by for the rest of life, for perpetuity, these are the top three wrestlers, and you had to pick them. Who are the three best wrestlers of all time?
Okay, best wrestlers or most popular?
No. Who are the best wrestlers of all time?
Okay, Shawn Michaels.
Now you can now listen. Now listen. You can include in the best popularity, skill-wise, talent, whatever. But at the end, however you want to, these three people are the best three according to Ace and what will be hereby deemed to be true for the rest of life. These are the three. Who?
No, that's not, because my list in the
No,
okay. Well, I'm
no,
gonna give you my
no.
list.
I'm asking, give me the three. With that being said, who are the three best if we had to write it down for history purposes? And we were in years now, if we lost wrestling and the world changed and we wanted to revisit, and somebody say, oh, this is it. These was the book. This is the book of Kennedy. Give me the three.
Hulk Hogan, The Rock, and John Cena.
And John Cena. Okay. So who's number one?
Hulk Hogan,
Who's number two?
John Cena.
Over The Rock.
Yes.
Okay, so then here's my thing. I ask you this.
This is why I say that. Hold on, let me just quick little caveat, because The Rock was also in the same space with Stone Cold Steve Austin. So those was 1A, 1B, whereas John Cena was in an era by itself to me.
Well, that makes for that reason, that's why I would put The Rock over John
I
Cena.
know you would. I know you would. But
Well, no, not just that. Because John Cena was in an era by himself, The Rock had high people popularity wise, and he still was the number one guy to that.
no. But I'm saying John
Respectfully,
Cena.
I get that.
I'm saying John Cena is, to me, the Hulk Hogan of that era, because like
Okay.
I'm talking about the Make-A-Wish stuff, the
I get it.
popularity.
No, completely.
Yeah.
I get it. Here's where I'm going with that.
Yeah.
Maybe I've been so jaded by Black culture to not ever think until yesterday when I saw the Grammys that maybe Taylor Swift is Hulk Hogan and Beyonce is John Cena, and not that Beyonce is Hulk Hogan. Because I've never in my life considered a scenario that would allow me to believe that Taylor Swift was better than Beyonce, bro. Never.
It is.
Now
Yeah.
it made me think that yeah, Beyonce has the most Grammys ever. But if every single time Taylor Swift is in a category with Beyonce for album of the year and she wins it, then that I can't that has to stand for something though, right?
It does. It does have to stand for something. And and to be honest, if you were gonna go that comparison, I think that you would then make The Rock number two, only because to black people, The Rock is the greatest wrestler, right?
Yes.
Right. And to us, but we know that to everybody, Hulk Hogan is the guy.
Right.
And that's what Taylor
So
Swift
so
is.
so that's what I'm wondering. Because see, this is my thing. I just this is the only reason why. Okay. The only thing I don't know, the reason why I think I've always found it hard to say that or give Taylor Swift that is because I don't know if Beyonce is popular to white people, but I don't think that Taylor Swift is as popular to black people either, right? And if I'm immersed in black culture the way that I am, when I say immersed in that musically, to me, it's R&B, hip hop, gospel for me, and then everything else is kind of sprinkled in. I listen to a little country, little pop, little rock and roll, but predominantly those three things. And so when I look at that, and in my world, that's what music sounds like to somebody else. I just wonder if white people also see Beyonce. I'm sure they don't necessarily see Beyonce like black people do, but I don't know how they see Beyonce though.
It's not the same for them. Like,
I know it's not the same, but I wonder how is it? Like I think that maybe this whole time that I've been thinking that Beyonce is Hulk Hogan, but maybe Taylor Swift is Hulk Hogan.
mhm.
And if Hulk Hogan, if you're saying that, if we're saying that, then that makes Taylor Swift the better artist.
That's why I said Beyonce is The Rock, because it's an argument. It's not fact. Like,
I get it, I get it. But here's my thing about it. In the end, they both said I'm going to assume I don't know how many albums Taylor Swift sold or what. I don't know their album sales in comparison. But what I am
yeah,
saying is that if you're telling me that both of them have boatloads of Grammys, but anytime they're up for album of the year, Taylor Smith is this is a 40 piece, right? This is a sweep. And I know some great Beyonce albums, right? I got some of my favorites. But if you're telling me though that Taylor Swift is cleaning the clock with these, bro, I can't. I can't be somebody who records mean something to me and not include that, bro.
yeah. So let me ask you this. The big game is coming up this weekend.
Yes.
Who you got?
Listen, man, I'm no longer betting against Pat Mahomes. I'm picking Pat Mahomes by 7 points. And listen, I really wanted, just for the record, I really wanted the Ravens to win only because I wanted Lamar to win a Super Bowl. And I thought that they was gonna win because I thought that they had the better team. And so my logic with picking the Kansas City Chiefs is that I thought that the Ravens dog walked the 49ers. And I think that if the Chiefs beat the Ravens pretty soundly, that they will not easily, but they can manage a way to beat the 49ers. So I got I got the Chiefs by 7. And I'm not betting ever against Pat Mahomes in the playoffs. So
I totally understand it, bro. I'm not going against the Chiefs either, although I don't have a dog in the fight. I'm gonna be honest. I can't wait to see the Super Bowl commercials. Dang, I said the word. And I can't wait to see the halftime show.
hey, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. This time around, I'm probably looking forward to that more than I have in the past. Here's a crazy thing though, bro. So the crazy thing that's been different for me the last couple of years, I don't know what it is, but maybe it's because my team has been out of contention so early on that it just made me just sit back and enjoy football differently. Like I'm not rooting for anybody any particular week because I know my team is already out of it. I'm hopeful that my team looks all right or whatever, and that the players that I like do good. But I think that I've enjoyed football more over the last couple of years that my team has been out of contention early. And it
Mhm.
looks like the fact that we got Derek Carr, we're going to be out early again next year. So I'm going to be in the same boat where I'm just enjoying football for what it is. So I think that I might just do the same thing. I'm looking forward to the Super Bowl, to the halftime show, and I'm looking forward to the commercials, all of the other pageantry that comes with the Super Bowl, though, man. Yeah, I'm there for it.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I got it 27-20 Kansas City.
I ain't even fixing to try to pick no score, bro. I just want to
Nothing
see.
that matters. It's somewhere about 7. It ain't nobody's gonna score 30 though.
Yeah. Well, that's it, bro. We appreciate y'all for joining the boys, the Slash Brothers. We held y'all a little long tonight, but we had a lot to get off our chest. We outro.
Peace out, y'all.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast.
Can you
of
dig
all
it,
time.
sucker?